All right, you guys, and we are back for another episode. Actually, this is episode 13. And unfortunately, Chris is not with us today, so the show must go on. He had an emergency, but he will be back for the next episode. Today, I have Joy here, and we are going to be talking about this dating world, okay? She's going to be sharing some of her dating chronicles, so y'all get ready. But for now, let's get this intro out the way. All right, you guys, welcome back. So we're about to get this show started. Joy, she's gonna jump right in. I'm gonna ask her some questions about what's going on with dating out here today. I heard that it is a hot mess. And thank God I'm not out there. Lord Jesus. But, we want to talk about this because it's like a really thing. Like dating used to be so easy. Didn't it? It used to be so easy, and now it's just like, what the hell is wrong with everybody? Like, is everybody just crazy? What's going on? Like, it's billions of people in the world, right? Billions of single people in the world. And you would think it would be easy to find one that you connect with. But it's not. It's just, my God, I feel sorry, especially for a lot of my single girlfriends, because they share a lot of these stories with me. But I want Joy to talk about some of her experiences and what that looked like. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to the stories that she's about to share with us. So, welcome to the show, Joy.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I'm so glad that you want to talk about this because I'm sure a lot of women will be able to relate to what's going on out here in this dating pool. So, you can go ahead and jump on in and just tell me, what are you dealing with? What's really going on? And how are you meeting the guys that you're dating? Are you on dating sites? Are you meeting them organically? Like, what's the deal?
So it's been more of dating sites than the organically in person. Even when I go out places, there's not a lot of guys that will come up to you like they used to and ask you to dance or ask you to buy you a drink.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of woman that I don't mind if I get that vibe there, I'll buy him a drink, but at the same sense, you have to at least give me eye contact. There's so many guys that the men mingle with the men and the women mingle with the women.
Wow.
And they don't even look your way. So it's very difficult. So dating online has been very challenging. I like to call it entertainment. Yes, I'm definitely looking for love. I'm that hopeless romantic, but at the same time, you just have to kind of downplay it and use it as entertainment. And if something comes out of it, it comes out of it. But I feel like my standards are not too high, but I feel like at my age, that they're reasonable. Have your front teeth and, have a means of transportation. Don't be homeless. Yeah, it seems reasonable, but it's not out there.
Oh my God, that's just terrible.
So, yes.
So what do you think guys feel that you should lower your standards to? Like, what are you asking for? What are you looking for in the right person?
You know what? Good communication, clarity, stability. We all have backpedal. We all have had hiccups. We all had things in our lives that have happened, but don't be okay with it. Don't be okay with sleeping on somebody's couch, for the past 6 years. Yes, it's happened.
I hear you.
Don't be okay with, asking me for money.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or to
Don't
borrow
ever
my
get
car.
comfortable with that.
To borrow my car.
Right.
Certain things that, I'm just looking for that compatibility, somebody to go and have fun, to laugh and talk, but at the same time be responsible and know how to balance, And it's just like now it's hard to even get a good conversation. You may get stuff like, hey, oh, you're tall, I could take you down. And I'm like,
The sex.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you can get so much more without asking, but at the same time, it requires more than that. After that, what else do you have? We need to have a good conversation. We don't have not having children together. So, that's how we have to have a good foundation versus, we're together for the children or we're together for, the home or something. We just want to be together and be happy. So it's very hard to find somebody. It's very difficult. I've had some stories, especially dating online. They say, oh, well, don't come up. You can't catfish me. You can't, I want to see what you look like. And I get there and he has no front teeth, or one has these pictures of himself and he's 6'4" and he literally rolls up on me in a wheelchair.
Oh my God.
And
so he just left that out.
It was something that was kind of important. It
that
could have been
very
added,
important.
At least in the photo.
That's very important.
Yeah, it was very deceiving.
Wow.
Very deceiving.
So I'm 6'4", but I'm rolling up in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's sometimes the conversation is just not there. Their mindset is, oh, I look forward. We're talking 50 plus. Oh, I look forward to, getting my mom's 1-bedroom apartment soon. Oh. That's a goal.
So he's waiting on mom to pass away. That's what that sounds like.
Or, you know what, Joy, can you bake pies like my ex-wife did? She passed away.
Somebody actually said that to you? Wow.
Yeah. So I'm like, not really ready to be in a competition with a ghost, So it's very difficult, and then when you do, and I'll say I'm not for everyone, just as they are not for me. Sure. But it's like, can we just get a conversation? That would be the start. And we can't even get that. Some just don't know what to say. Some, especially online, I've had a conversation with, real good conversation, very educated, intelligent. And then they tell me, I'm incarcerated, but I have a cell phone. So choices.
That's a lot of what's going on online. These men have cell phones in prison, never getting out, right?
21 years so far.
Yeah, that's like life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And wow. But you know what's crazy about that? So many women will still choose them.
And I'm not one.
I understand, because I wouldn't be one either.
But
no way.
There are some, because it could be a good conversation and they can give you a bunch of hopes and woulda, coulda, shouldas and everything, but it's so scarce out here. I know some of my female friends too feel like it's better to have like a piece of a man than no man at all, because it's so scarce. Right, huh? Yeah, it's very hard to find somebody good, not perfect, but perfect for you, because it's like finding a needle in a haystack. It really is. And I have restrictions against me because I'm 6 feet tall. So it's just my comfort zone. We all have comfort zones of who we want to date, and just our standards. But the choices out there, men won't even come up to you. It's just not, they're not there. It's groupies. It's the same people in the same groups, and some have already dated and been with each other, and it's just ongoing. It doesn't stop. You have to venture out, but at the same time, some are just not ready.
That's true.
And that goes for women too, as men and women. We may say we could be a wonderful woman, a good wife, or a good husband, but you really don't fit the qualifications for the job.
Yeah, exactly. So. Wow. It's really sad that it's this way. Love is one of the most beautiful things that God could have created and given us, and it's free. And it's the hardest thing for people to find and get a hold of. And that, it makes me sad, because I'm like you too. I'm like a hopeless romantic. I love love, but I love green flag relationships. It's enough toxic relationships. So much so that many women don't even think that green flag relationships exist, because it is so many red flags. toxic relationships out here. And I'm just like, a lot of times I'm thinking like, who raised you and how were you raised? What did you see? A lot of people, that's how they operate. They operate from their trauma. And so when they get into the relationship, they go by what they saw. So if they saw their mother and father are struggling in a relationship, toxic relationship, arguing all the time, they think that that's normal. Or if they saw a single mother with men in and out of her life, they see,
It's the routine.
they see that as an issue. So it's so many different things. So what I was told is what you saw growing up and how you were raised. Like if you didn't see a lot of examples of good relationships, 9 times out of 10, you probably won't, know how to maintain a good relationship because you never seen it. You could try, but you never seen it. So you might be bringing some of that family dysfunctional traits into the relationship, which that happens a lot. That's another reason why I feel like relationships are not lasting. And then nobody wants to do any work.
Yes.
Nobody wants to heal. Nobody wants to go to a therapist, especially in, Black families. A lot of us was taught don't go outside the house and tell your business to a stranger. What can I do to help? Therapist. You don't need a therapist.
You're
talk
crazy.
to your family. Yeah, that part. Yeah. All these different things, but this is why they were created. The help is out there, but nobody wants to take it because nobody wants to feel like they're weak.
Yeah.
But you can't operate in a relationship. You can't hold a relationship. You're in and out of relationships. You got this woman this week, this woman that week, and women, same thing. She's in a relationship every 3 months. So that's what I feel a lot of it is that. But I don't believe that it's all men. I believe that there are some good ones out there. It is like a needle in a haystack. Yeah. I will say that because when I was dating and when I was single, I was doing the same thing. I was on dating sites and going out on dates and things, and it was a lot of ones that were crazy that I was just like, oh my God, why couldn't this ex-husband of mine get it together?
And I hate to call them crazy. I just like to say they're different. They're not for me.
Yeah.
Besides the one that wanted to kill his kids, he told me about that. Or I sat with one in Starbucks and he told me about the drive-by that he did. It's been very interesting, but they're just different people.
Yeah.
As different people, we were all brought up different. Some, like you said, follow what they've seen.
Oh,
and then you do have some that want to do the complete opposite, but it's very few. It's very challenging. I don't know. I contemplated maybe it was the vaccine, maybe. I got it myself, but maybe it depends.
Because craziness was happening before the vaccine.
Well, yes, recently.
It was a lot of craziness before the vaccine. Yeah. It was a lot of, and also it was a lot of breakups.
Yeah.
Because people had to be forced to be in the house. So, a lot of the men couldn't go see their side chicks.
Yeah.
So they were irritated. Yeah. So it was a lot of breakups, but then it also brought people together as well. Like I literally met my husband in the week of the shutdown of the
Yeah.
And we spent a lot of time together because we couldn't do nothing. So we just hung out, got to know each other, hiked, walked, bike rides, hung out at the beach. That was our life. But it pushed us quicker together because it was just me and him. Like we couldn't really go around people,
quarantine
do
together.
Things. So I got a chance to kind of know him and some of his ways really quick, which led me to thinking like, okay, this one may work. He was the only one that I let get close to me. All the others, they didn't make it past a second date, like literally. And I went on a good probably 20 dates before I met him. And never let none of them come to my home. And that is another thing that's a big problem what I see with a lot of women that are meeting men online or just wherever they meet them and allowing them to come to their home after only knowing them like for a short amount of time. And stop doing that.
Yeah, and you know what? It's not even just
because
letting.
that is scary.
Yeah, just not even letting them come into your home. That's already a no-no. But just to come into your body.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you know, regardless if you at your home or whoever's home, I find that that's what a lot of people are seeking for right now, and just that, and they don't want to commit. They're good guys, but I just don't want to commit right now because they want to keep doing this with
they're not ready to become men. That's little boys think that way. No self-control over your genitals.
Yeah,
that's little boy behavior. Grown men want to settle down.
Yeah,
they know what it takes to have one woman and nurture that one relationship and build. But a lot of men just don't have self-control. They see a woman with a big butt wagging and they lose their mind. And it's crazy because it's like you build with this woman that you claim you love, and then you tear it down by cheating, by a piece of behind. That's just crazy to me.
It always looks good.
And then they want you to forgive them.
Yeah, it always looks good though from the outside when they're looking across that yard and they're looking at that house. It looks perfect. But go ahead and repair your own house, you know. Because you get over there and you realize that house got termites, it got plumbing issues. You need to just fix your wood floors and then you'll be good.
Because everything that look good,
it's not good.
It's like, okay, but a lot of men they just don't have it. They don't have the self-control to do that. Yeah. And they haven't reached the level of emotional intelligence to even be able to turn, the advances down. Yeah. They just can't do it.
So do you think, I believe that social media, just our lifestyle, like before families were together 30, 40, 50 years. Now it just seems so challenging because you have them looking Instagram and, fans only, all this different kind of stuff.
I think it make it a little more easier, a little more accessible. But those same people were the same people before social media doing it differently. Yeah. They were still doing it, but they was doing it differently. Maybe it was a little harder. Yeah. But now with social media, I just think that it make it a little more easier for the ones that are just already like that. Yeah. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because now you have all these different outlets. Yes. So you have the DMs. Yes. So you have all that going on. You have different ways to cheat. First it was just like the cell phone, and the cell phone replaced the little black book. So everything you doing dirty is in that cell phone. So, and then I don't know, like we did a segment not too long ago about cell phones and secrets and relationships, and how it's always a big deal with like having a codes and stuff like that to each other's phones. I'm like, if I'm committed to you and we're together, you can have the code. I'm gonna definitely keep it on lock because I lose it. Yeah. But I feel like I don't have a problem with my husband having the code to my phone.
But so many do.
Yeah, they have a problem because I feel like it's a small percentage of the ones that are really probably not doing anything, right?
But still don't.
But it's a huge percentage that the ones that are funny about that phone are hiding something.
But I will say this too, even if they're not doing anything and that DM, you get the little smiley, the hearts and the blowing the kiss. And if somebody is looking through your phone, it can definitely, it's not what you receive though, it's how you respond to it. Yes. So now if you got a response with a kissy face going back, that's a conversation.
Oh yeah.
A possible termination.
That's already like on the way to cheating pretty much.
Yeah.
Like,
because you're doing something
what you're saying.
It's inappropriate.
Or anything that you do behind your partner back that your partner don't know about that is deemed sneaky with somebody else is going to be,
Yeah.
To me, cheating
behavior.
Because your partner, that's not you guys as friends together, then that's a problem. But that happens a lot. I see married men under single women's pictures, telling them that they look sexy. Why are you telling another woman she looks sexy and you have a wife at home?
I've had some friends and families men in my inbox, because sometimes we befriend each other, and in my family and everything. And it's like, if you need something, and it's like, don't want to take it like that. Like they just want me. But like the conversation goes on and you can tell that this is not the appropriate conversation.
See how I would handle that? I would let them talk as much as I can get them to talk, and then I would let them have it.
Yeah.
That's probably what I would do. Because
it's sad though. It's very sad.
Nobody has morals anymore. Nobody, just seem like people just don't care. They don't even care if they get caught.
And because not all, but so many situations, they stay together. So they feel like I can do this again.
Well, that's why they're doing it. Yeah. Because if you were doing that to a woman that you knew would leave you without a shadow of a doubt.
Yes. Or you're afraid to lose.
Yes. Then you would think a little bit, about doing that.
Yeah, and we all teach people how to treat us.
Oh yeah.
We set precedents from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I know myself, sometimes it wasn't there and I'm like, oh, I could have did that different. Or, it's always woulda, coulda, shoulda. But the main thing is to learn.
Yeah.
To learn from what we've been through. And I'm so like moving forward, trying to move different. But it's very, very difficult. Very difficult. Some people use the word guarded. But they really are playing games.
Oh, yeah.
It's so many different terms now that I did not know growing up. Just in one person, I learned love bombing, narcissist, gaslighting. Yeah, I learned all of that. And I literally watched a movie recently on Netflix, and it was my husband is gaslighting me. And I was looking at the movie and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's everything I went through.
I saw that movie.
Yeah, it was like the crying, you blame. He had me at one point blaming myself. Yeah. Like I did something wrong.
And they have no like emotions tied to anything. Yes. You can be crying and they'll make you feel worse. Like,
yes.
But tears
then he cries. Nothing. But then he cries.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, so it's very challenging.
See, that's that manipulation right there. Yeah. Narcissists are the biggest manipulators. They love to manipulate, make you think it's you, and all along it's them. So what do you think about when men say, let's just take it slow, let it flow? What do you get from that? What do you take from that?
That they're not serious. That they want to weigh their options. Take it slow. Yes, we all know that we want to not jump into something. But at the same time, I feel like at our age, we know what we want. We should.
Yeah.
And we do need to be cautious. But I think when they verbalize it, it seems different. And usually that take it slow. Let's just let things happen organically.
Yeah.
That's usually, I could go on for a couple years.
And that's exactly what happened with one of my girlfriends. It was like 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years later.
Still taking it slow.
Let's take it slow. Yeah. 2 years later. Who takes it slow 2 years later?
But we doing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm over here cooking
Actually, they wasn't doing everything. So that was a sign. But, sometimes I feel like some women like the idea of just having, like, somebody desire them. Because at the end of the day, as women, we all want to be desired, of course. But you really know. Like, one of the things that we have is intuition.
Yes.
Some women they're able to use their intuition better than others. Some I feel like just overlook it because they don't want the truth.
That's true.
I always want the truth. I want to know like what I'm getting into right away, so because it's scary.
Yeah.
Giving your time and energy to somebody and they're not even serious.
Yeah.
They're still playing games.
Definitely a waste of time.
I just don't have the energy for that.
And then you have some that the truth is there and they can't handle the truth. But give it to me. I need the truth. Yeah. You don't have to lie to me. You don't have to, because I'd rather you just be honest. Hurt me, make me mad, but don't deceive me, And
if more men are honest, it would save so much. A whole lot. Yeah. Because there's women out there that's okay.
Yeah. I've had men tell me, like I'm not interested in a relationship. I just want a friend with benefits.
Yeah.
That's another one. And it's just like, you know what? I respect that. I appreciate your transparency from the beginning.
Yeah.
If that's something that I choose to do, then I will be contacting you. But from here, no further questions.
Yeah. You know, I had this man tell me that one time. He was like, you know, I'm just gonna be, you know, honest. I'm just on this app trying to hook up.
Yeah.
And I said, thank you for telling me that.
Yeah.
And you just go ahead and just delete my number out your phone too,
Yeah.
because that's not what I'm looking for. But I do appreciate you being honest, and I wish more men would step up and be honest and just say what it is that you want or don't want.
Now, the part that I don't understand is, well, maybe I do understand, is if I had somebody that I was introduced, you know, it was somebody who tried to set me up. And he told me from the beginning that he wasn't looking for a relationship, that he was looking for that friends with benefits. And I told him I wasn't interested. I was kind of offended that my friend, you know, hooked me up with somebody like this. But maybe a couple months later, he was in a full-blown relationship. And it ended really quickly. Just as quickly as she got her body transformed to who she currently is, that's how quick the relationship was over.
Well, it sounded like you dodged the bullet with that one.
Yeah.
It sounded like you dodged the bullet.
Yeah, one of them. But then he called me later. Interesting. Yeah. But neither here nor there. You know, at that point, I just wasn't interested. Because I knew when I seen, because I followed them on social media, and they were traveling, and, you know, I see her, and it's just like, oh, you know, some things that look good are not always good. Go for what you feel. You know, as we get older, we have to understand even our questions are different.
Oh, yeah. I'm asking all kind of different questions.
Like I say,
not the normal, what's your favorite color?
What's your birthday?
Like to do?
Yeah, what's your favorite food?
Yeah.
No, now you need to know.
No.
So if your tooth get knocked out today, can you get it fixed at least by tomorrow? Like, I need to know.
How's those dental benefits?
Yeah, like what's going on, you know, with work? Like, do you have, who's your beneficiary? Like, is it the ex of the wife, or like, how's this go work?
Is it your children?
Yeah, do we have to do a car wash? Do you have insurance?
Right.
Yeah.
Most people don't. Especially, I'm sorry, but most Black people don't carry insurance.
Yeah. So the questions definitely change.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need to know your credit score, but I will ask you if you have a passport. You don't, I need to know why.
Or, you know, I always ask, like, do you like to travel? Because that kind of ties into if they got a passport. When they get to telling you, like, where they been. Oh, where you been?
Oh, yeah, I went to Inglewood. No.
No, I don't have a passport, and I've never actually been out of you know, California.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I had another one that tell me, no, I don't travel places like that. You know, that's it's politics in it. And I'm like,
politics and seeing the world. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, there are places that I do not desire to go.
I agree.
Because of their laws.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's so funny.
For safety.
Somebody said, well, what you think you're going to be doing over there? I said, I don't know. I may forget. And next thing you know, I'm locked up because I done damn forgot the law. so I don't need to go. I'm facing 5 to 10 years because I don't forgot the law.
I agree.
No, thank you.
I literally was over in Thailand, and we were, you know, out, and it's like I can't wear a sleeveless shirt.
You can't?
Yeah, you can't have on shorts, so they give you a robe to put on.
So where can you wear that stuff at the beach?
Well, it's just at, like, when we went and seen this humongous, like, Buddha type thing.
Oh,
it was,
yeah,
like,
I heard the temples are that way.
It was in a really big temple. And, you know, one of the ladies in there took her robe off to take a picture, and she almost was tackled down. So you do have to be cautious of where you're going. I do understand that, but the people that, you know, won't even go to, I don't know.
Yeah, you have to, and see, that's why those kind of questions are so important. Like, do you like to travel? What type of fun do you like to do? I like to go bike riding and hiking and walks and, you know, things of that nature. So you got to kind of like find out what your deal breakers would be versus, okay, I can deal with that versus I don't want to deal with that. I don't like boring men.
Yeah.
You cannot be boring at all.
But then everybody has their own definition of boring.
That's true.
Yeah.
And, you know.
You're 50 years old and at home playing video games all night. That's somebody's fun.
It is. It would definitely not be mine.
Yeah.
I would definitely not want the guy that want to be on video games. Like, that is a turnoff to me.
Yeah.
It's a deal breaker. Like, you are not about to be just all your spare time is going to be on a video game. Up all night on a video game.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely not.
Screaming at the TV.
Yeah. Like, no.
But you know what? I will say, like, I met one in person. I met him in Target. And we eventually went to a casino in Gardena.
Oh, like the Hustler?
At the Hustler.
Yeah.
It was Saturday night. We went to the Hustler. He taught me how to play a game. I don't remember which one. I was doing good. I just did whatever he told me to do. And he's like, let's go to another casino. So we went ahead. We got in the same car, and we went over to Commerce Casino.
Okay. Saturday
night, we were at the Hustler. I had to call my friend Monday morning to pick me up.
You was in the casino all night.
So you need to know who you're dealing with.
So he was a gambler.
At first, it was fun.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, this dealer then went home and came back, and I'm still sitting here. Yeah, so it was very, very, I'm one that's balanced, and I need to see how other people are. I want to see how you are. Do you have road rage? I want to know,
that's so important.
How do you talk to your parents or your children, your family, your coworkers? I need to know, how do you place your order? Are you angry at the waiter?
Right.
Are you going to keep sending all your food back because it's just not perfect for you? I need to know.
But and then sometimes a person can be really nice to everybody else. Yes. Nobody knows that other side.
Yes.
But the person that get into a relationship with them. I used to tell my ex-sister-in-law, because she would try to, talk her little stuff that, like, she knew something about my marriage. And one day I had to tell her, you only know him as a brother. You know him as a brother.
That was my narcissist.
You do not know him as my husband. Just like I don't know your husband as your husband. You know what you got going on in your household. And I know what I got going on in my household. You cannot tell me about this man.
And that was my narcissist. He was amazing to everybody else. And his sister said, I wish I had a husband like my brother. And so at that time, I'm like, wow, that's deep. She's really admiring her brother until he would get animated. That's what he told me. I said, animated? What does that mean?
See, that's the when you have to, like, break out the camera and not let them know that you recording them.
Because you would not
for your own safety.
Listen, you would not believe the part that I seen. And then he talked to one of my friends and he says, I just talked to her just like I'm talking to you right now. We just talk calm and she just doesn't understand. But when he talked to me, he was going like this and I'm like, he's like, I'm getting animated. And so now that's like the ongoing joke, where we get upset, we're like, we're getting animated. And so I told him, I said, that's like dramatic, like drama. He's like, oh, you calling me a BLTC, you call, and I said, that is not what I said,
He already knew what the word was. He already knew that's
what
he was acting like. He didn't look, because narcissists are they're so stupid. But they think that they're smarter than everybody else, but they actually really stupid.
But it was so deceiving because he was so romantic. He said the right things. Where do you want to go? Doesn't matter as long as we're together. Oh, he was just everything until he was nothing. Until he was animated.
That's the other side, huh? Ooh.
Yeah.
That's what I, would tell the guy in the beginning. I need to wait and see if you got another side that I don't know about. Because I'm going to be the one that see that side. I need to see that side.
You need to see the good, the bad. Like they say, learn somebody in every season.
Yeah.
I want to know how do you react when you're hurt? How what makes you happy? All of those questions. If you had a bad day, how do you handle that? What do you do?
Yeah. Do you get drunk? Yeah. What?
Oh, I got a good one. So this one, really nice guy, good conversation. We went out a couple times, actually spent New Year's with him. And so then later on, he tells me, we really could kind of tell we weren't that compatible, right? So a little time goes on. He calls me maybe about a month later and he says, you know what? You're an amazing woman. You're an amazing woman. I don't want to lose you. We weren't real compatible, but it's something I have to tell you about my life. I'm like, oh shoot.
Lord.
Okay. I'm thinking, playing back, like we went out a couple times. I met his family, like what's going on, And he says, well, you know how people had two people, like the angel on the shoulder and the devil on the shoulder. And I said, okay. He says, you're the angel on my shoulder. He says, and I didn't want you to be judgmental. I didn't want to tell you in the beginning. I said, what are you saying? He says, well, it's just a lifestyle. Okay, what are you saying? He says, I have a devil on my shoulder. Okay. I'm still sitting here like waiting. And he says, well, I have a girlfriend that I'm in love with, but she has a wife. I said, okay. He says, but I want you around for forever. You to be with me for a lifetime, for holidays, my family, my friends. I want us to be, together all the time, but I have a lifestyle with her. I said, well, what lifestyle do you have with her? And she has a wife. Like, what are you guys like sleeping together? He says, oh no, we absolutely don't do that. He says, but me and her, we have a lifestyle that I know you wouldn't do. But I want you in my life too. I want you to be that other woman that I could treat both of you guys and be in love. And that's another one, being in love with two people. Being in love, not love, but in love with two people. Because with her, we have wild sex and we do mushrooms and lines of coke.
Oh.
I said, okay, let me sit down first.
Wow.
Because I'm not 1,000% not interested, but I want to know. I'm one of them ones that I want to know, where is this going? So he just says that they're wild, they do all this kind of stuff, and they do these drugs, and he knew that I wasn't going to do it. So
he wanted the wild devil, and then the nice angel.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
Woo, child.
It's just like I never saw that coming. Never saw it coming.
So why don't you tell everybody, if you had the ideal man, what would that look like? Because it might be somebody out there that might be watching.
You know what? I'm really big on not just communication, but good communication. Transparency is important, but at the same time, somebody that can be a friend, that you're going to have fun with, that you can laugh and be able to deal with, situations that are sometimes negative. Somebody that can be to give me that security, like I'm good with myself, but at the same time, a provider, someone where a team player, that's the main word, a team player, someone that can provide reassurance and that I know that has my back, no matter what. And I can be there for them because I feel like I have a lot to offer. I'm not perfect, but at the same time, two people can be perfect together. So that's very important. But to be able to take trips and laugh, and then sometimes not just going anywhere, but just sitting there doing nothing and being silent, but not feeling an awkward silence.
Yeah.
So that's important as well. Just somebody half of my life is pretty much over. So the rest of my days, I'm not having no more babies, Well, I don't even know puppy or none of you. We can get a fish, maybe. But, something that we could build together and just make memories from here on out.
So basically, you just named all the normal stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty much that simple.
Yeah.
All the normal stuff that make a relationship work.
Yeah. I don't need them to be rich, but at least have a job.
Ridiculous. It's not even ridiculous what you're asking for.
And I've been told that I need to lower my standards.
I'm trying to understand, what would you lower them to? What do they mean? Like someone, go shorter or get a shorter man? Because he might be a short man, but he may have all the other qualities that you're looking for?
I find that a lot of men
What if that did happen? Would you be open?
A shorter man? That's going to be hard for me. And I've been told that the love of my life is probably, 5'4". I'm 6 feet. So it's very, 5'4". I don't really want to hand you nothing on the top shelf. I don't really, and we're not the same size in the bed. That's so not true. I'm sorry, and we're in the car and my seat is here and yours is up there. It's different. I don't want to pick you up for pictures. I don't want, we go to a restaurant and they say for 1.5. And it is what everybody has a different comfort zone. Yeah. Some could date out the race, some like dark, some like light, some like, you have your preference. And for me, my comfort zone is just not with, a shorter man. It's just not there. But
I don't even think stuff like that is lowering standards by as far as looks go.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's what
Well,
that
I think
is.
it was behind the conversation of the guy who told me he worked for the city and he really smashed the cans at the recycling center in the city
Well,
of LA.
that's definitely considered
So
low.
my
That
friend
would
told me you shouldn't be like that. And I'm like,
no
well,
way.
I literally look at her relationship, and this is my friend, but I told her, I look at your relationship as an example. You got with your man, you have a man, bless y'all little relationship, but he's going from warehouse to warehouse to warehouse. It's very difficult. It's very hard to be able to have some type of stability, especially I'm a hustler. So I always have my career plus something on the side. And I'm not saying they have to match me, but they have to match me. You have to at
But I
least
don't
be
think it's
there.
anything wrong with that. I
Yeah.
really don't think it's anything wrong with that.
Now
But
there's down times, I get that, but forever?
men often question though, when it's the other way around. Like they can come into the relationship and have all this money, right? And then they can date a woman that has either make less money or have no money at all, right? But yeah, it is different when it's the other way around because who was taught as a woman to take care of a man? Like I wasn't raised that way.
Honestly, I don't think it's good either way.
Yeah,
I don't know
well,
too many men that want a woman that has nothing going for herself.
It's not too many out there that do.
It's hard.
And ones that I've known, like back in the day that did that, it was because she still was doing stuff at home. She was literally catering to him.
Yeah.
You're not going to just get to lay around all day. You're going to be working still. You're going to be doing something.
And that goes for
And
both.
if you have kids and he's, allowing you to be a stay-at-home mom, I think that that's a really good thing because I think that mothers should be able to be stay-at-home moms with their kids. Like who made up this 6 weeks you have a baby and now you got to leave
Go
that
back to work.
6-week-old baby and go back to work. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like that. You should be able to stay at home to your kids or at least talking and potty trained or something.
Yeah.
But
once
that's not enough
you
time.
pass that baby making stage, we need to be at a different place in life. Something here, I work 10 hours a day and I can still cook and clean and massage and please my man and paint the walls and like spend time with the girls. Like you have to be able to, and my word is forever balance. You have to be able to balance everything. Sometimes it's not going to be exactly level. And just in a relationship, it's not going to always be 50-50. It could be 70-30. It could be 80-20
That's what
sometimes.
Michelle Obama has spoke about.
Yeah.
And it's true. Mm-hmm. Do you think, because there is a lot of men out there, especially the podcasters and men that have their own shows and that speak on platforms, Kevin Samuels being one of them, speaking about women of age or a certain age, saying that it's harder for women of a certain age to find love. Do you think that have anything to do with this dating process and finding someone being harder? Do you buy into that?
I think my opinion is not finding a woman that's just older in age, but I think with a more experience, the tolerance becomes different.
That's true.
Yeah, the standards become different. At 20, 21, 27, the security guard was fine. I'm not looking for no security guard right now. I mean, there's some out there, some well-paid ones as well, but that wasn't just be my first choice. So just from experience, as I've gotten older, there's things that have changed that not necessarily age, but just the experience that I've gone through has made it more difficult because it's knocked a lot of people out the box.
So you're saying then that, with age, that can be the problem because we're harder to run game on and we're over the games and tired and we want somebody more mature and settled.
But then I have majority of my friends are older and they tell me, you've been through some stuff that I've never been through because maybe they've been married for 30 years or maybe, the situation was different. So it's just like they can't even relate to what I'm going through now. So, once again, it just goes back to the experiences. And it's not just from what I've heard, it's from what I've been through. And,
so, have you been married?
I have. I was married 8 years.
Okay. How was that 8 years marriage? And
Like
how old were you?
It was a business deal.
And you were how old when you got married? What was the age?
So I'm 4 years older than him. So I was about 24 when I got married.
Oh,
so he was,
baby.
he was younger than me. Had 2 beautiful kids out of it. We were good partners. Okay. We were good business partners. But it took me years later, 8 years with him, 7 years in another relationship, and then 2 years engagement to realize I wasn't in love with neither one of those other two. No matter the time frame that you put in it, that 2-year relationship, it blew my mind. It made me really, there weren't children. It wasn't a property. It wasn't nothing. It was just me and him. And then it was me and him through that pandemic. Okay. So it was nothing but time. So we learned each other. We talked, we communicated. My marriage was more like have kids, buy a house, get cars, get a boat, get a motorcycle. It was business. We did well at it until we don't really love. We love each other, but we're not in love. Okay. So we just went our separate ways. 7 years relationship. That was really 6 years too long. I was with a man, and my friends like to say I have Build-A-Bears. I get them little clothes and little passports and, little heartbeat, and they go on their way, and I hate to say that, but I'm a team player, and a lot of people can't handle that. They take it and then they move on. Yeah. But with the 7 years, it was most of the time I was trying. The first year, it was good. Second year, I thought it was me. Then the third year, I realized that it was really him. So the rest of the years, I was trying to help him. It was in therapy and everything, and you can't help a 50-some-year-old man. No. And
that's one of the things that a lot of women need to stop doing. Let these men figure it out. We're not supposed to do that, because they'll allow you to do with that, and then they'll get themselves together, and guess what? They'll leave you, and then they're gonna marry somebody within 3 months. Yes, that's why I don't believe in doing that.
I created a good man for somebody.
Right? Yeah.
Well, not that one. He's still living with his dad.
But I know what happens. You mean. Yeah. That's that's why it happens like that, because we're not supposed to do that. Men are supposed to figure it out. And it's just really sad, because when I see a lot of the men that are talking about women on the blogs today, it's almost like, do y'all even like women? Yeah. Do y'all
or tolerate them?
Like women, or do y'all just want to use them as a toy to play with? And where did all this hate come from? But it's not just men. It's a lot of women that speak these horrible things against men too. And I'm thinking okay, I get what you're saying, but you still want a man. My theory is to watch what you put out into the universe, because what you say can manifest. And the universe is always listening to how you speak. So sometimes people put their foot in their mouth and they try to psych themselves out like they really don't want this relationship, but they are the ones that be wanting the relationship really, really bad. Yeah. And that's not how it goes. So if that's what you want, then that's what you need to make sure that you're speaking and saying those things. Staying happy in those situations. I always say dating should be fun. You cannot take it serious, because you'll get caught up, you'll stay disappointed. When you meet somebody and you think, oh, this person could be a good candidate, and then they do something and show you that they're not. Now you're disappointed. I've had girlfriends crying, and I'm thinking what the hell are you crying for? Your heart is not involved. It shouldn't be. Not after just meeting for 1 or 2 times or something.
But you know what? If you find the way dating is right now, when you go through 20 people, knuckleheads, or I should say different people, as I say, they're different, and you find that one, and it's only been a couple weeks, it's only been a couple months, you have hope, But
it's
true, you should give your all.
Still have to, I always say, lead with your mind, not your heart. Yeah. And even into 6 months down the line, because you have to see if that person is going to show you something else. And that's why, like, when I went back in dating in my close to my 50s, this go round, I led with my mind. I dated strategically because I was like, I don't know. This can change. This person can change. You know, like I said, I didn't even get far on these dates anyway. But even when I met the man that I ended up marrying, I still, like 6 months down the line, I still was like, I still don't know. You know, I remember my daughter asking me like, Mom, if he asked you to marry you today, would you? And I said, She said, that
The,
I'm like, hold on, why I can't say Like,
yeah.
no, I'm being cautious. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like I haven't been married before. I was married for 20 years before this, and if I get married again, I want to be it.
Yeah.
You know,
Not to keep doing it.
I don't want to just keep getting married.
And that's another thing. You meet people now, and I guess because we're older, they are on their third and fourth marriage.
Oh yeah. See,
Yeah.
I don't trust getting married right after meeting somebody. Like if I met somebody and they wanted to get married within a month or 3 months, I would not be okay.
Yeah.
I would question that because I would be thinking like, what's the rush? We don't really know each other. Oh, well, I know what I want. I know I want you as my wife. I would not trust that because they can change up. And sometimes I be feeling like, see, a lot of narcissists love to get married real quick and tie you down. And they do that, excuse me, because they don't want you to find out who they are.
Yeah.
So they want to hurry up and get you locked
first.
in. And they figure like, well, they won't once this, you know, the real me do show up, she's already married. She's not that, she can't leave that quick. I would leave so fast.
But you know,
Still.
I'm listening to you and like the way you talk and you took your time and you're not quick to do it. That's those guys too that are saying, just not right now. Just take it slow.
Well, I wasn't saying that. I wasn't saying that. But I still was just, I was just having fun.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to take this too serious. I'm not going to worry about if it don't work out.
Yeah.
Like, I am just going to wake up every day and we just going to have fun. And that's basically what we were doing. We were just really, really having fun, getting to know each other. I was always setting my boundaries. If it was something I didn't like, I was like quick to say it right away and not let that linger. Like things like that. Just showing someone how to treat you and how you want to be treated. You know, some things you can't let go. You have to say it right there. Because when you don't, then they're looking at you when you do bring it up. They're like, oh, well, why you didn't say that? You
In the
know,
beginning.
and they try to, well, that's called gaslighting. But you'll find out if they're a gaslighter. Because I should come to you, and I used to tell my husband this all the time. I should be able to come to you and always feel safe. If I come to you and say, you know, earlier when you said this, that hurt my feelings, and I didn't like that. I don't want to hear, I didn't say it like that, and you.
That's the way you took it.
Right, or you too sensitive.
Yes.
You know, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear, you know what, that's not my intention. And I'm sorry you felt that way. And I apologize for making you feel that way. That's somebody that care about your feelings. And if you can't do that, then you don't have no emotional intelligence
That is one
to
right
sustain
there.
this relationship.
That is
because
so
no,
important.
you're not gaslighting me and my feelings.
Because just because he might not think it's very important doesn't mean that it's not to you.
Oh yeah.
And it needs to be in a good relationship. Like, look, I didn't know that you received it that way. That's not the way I meant it. It could just be a quick little conversation.
Well, that's something I had to work on. I ain't gonna lie, because I was that person that would be like, that ain't nothing. You mad about that? And I had to realize, like, you know, men have feelings too.
Yeah.
But we don't be expecting men to be emotional. And to me, dealing with a man that's like more emotional than me, that's something I had to get used to. I'm like, oh, you got emotions?
Yeah.
Oh shit! So
But
I gotta be careful.
I'm on the flip side when they just don't react. No, nothing. That's. I'm like, I want to poke and see if you're real. You know, because that's not normal. It's to me, it's scary.
So a lot of times they try to say this, that we attract who we are.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think about that? Because it used to be a truth for me until I figure out, like what I needed to do and what I needed to work on within myself. Because I didn't realize that I had brought a whole lot of trauma along with me, even when I was in my first marriage. Even though like he did a lot of stuff and how he was, and you know, I ended up with him in the beginning because we were having fun. Mm-hmm. And then, we should have never, got married, but I don't regret it because it was a lesson.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot from the lesson. But had I kept going and not stood still and really said, okay, what part did you play? What do you need to do?
Mm-hmm. Some self-evaluation.
I know I would have ended up with another person, probably worse than him, had I not took that time to myself, because I was with him 20 whole years. Early 20s, came out in early 40s. Mm-hmm. 20 whole years. And so I'm like, I'm not that 20-some-year-old young woman that went into this marriage. Mm-hmm. I'm not the same person coming out. I didn't know who I was, actually. And I just really had to do some work on myself to get to understand, like, what do I want today?
Right.
In a man. Mm-hmm. So I decided to be single.
But I think, sometimes if you were like that, I'm single and I'm just going to do me and I'm going to heal. But do you truly know that you healed until you get into another situation?
For me, and I say this a lot because I am also a self-love healing life coach. Mm-hmm. And I tell women, one of the things that while you're healing that you need to not do is not date. Mm-hmm. I have seen so many women that I know personally and some that I don't say that they're healing, but they're still dating, and not just dating, still having sex with the man that they're dating. You cannot heal and do that. It does not work that way. Because once we start having sex, because we're women, we're emotional, so we get our feelings caught up. Mm-hmm. And you go do that. And now you emotionally caught up just because of the feelings you had from the sex. Mm-hmm. That's not going to do you no good. It's because what happens is they end up still leaving that relationship or that with those dealings with that man empty. Because there wasn't nothing else but sex. I'll call you up when I'm ready to have sex again. And it's like, no.
And then go to the next one.
Yeah. And then now you're still feeling empty. Well, I didn't want to feel that way. And so I decided to be celibate. And that was one of the hardest things that I ever did because I've never did that. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really think I had it in me. But with a lot of prayer and just standing on, like, I know I'm not going to feel good if I go out. Because I'm not that type of woman anyway. I don't get fulfilled by casual sexual hookups. Mm-hmm. I need something more. I can't even bond with a man if I'm not emotionally connected.
Yeah.
And mentally connected.
Yeah.
Now the physical, the finances, and the spiritually,
everything
we
gotta
can kind
match.
of get there with that. But the mental and emotional, if I'm not connected to you, especially emotionally, then I'm not even going to want to have sex with you.
It's not even going to work out for me.
It's not going to work.
I say that all the time. No passion.
Yeah, no passion, no romance, no
spontaneity.
Like I need that, and because I'm spontaneous as hell. I wake up one morning and be like, let's go to Vegas.
Yes.
Or let's jump on a plane and let's go here, there, whatever.
Yes.
I love that.
And that's something that's hard to find too. I need that in my mate because if I say,
well, we can't do that because I gotta go to work tomorrow.
I say
whatever.
It's Tuesday. Let's go over to Mexico and get tacos.
Right.
I need somebody to say, okay, we gonna get salsa.
Yes.
But it's not gonna always be like that too.
No.
I know I'm not gonna always find somebody to do everything.
Because you still gonna have all the other serious stuff that you gotta work through.
It's called life. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. But that's fine because you're gonna long as it's with somebody that's willing to work. It's so easy to throw in the towel on a marriage or a relationship. That's the easy part. Yeah. Fighting and working through.
And that's what I said.
Listening and understanding your partner and communicating.
Putting forth the efforts.
That's that's why a lot of people be ready to walk. And it's like, if you could walk that easy, you gonna always walk.
Yeah.
Because I don't care what relationship you in, it's going to be some type of work.
And that's what I said. I always use my name, but I want somebody to literally choose joy, to literally choose me, to be afraid to lose me, not after the fact. I'm not talking about, oh, you went on a date with somebody else. Now you realize how good I was to you. Now I want you back.
Yeah, no.
I dated one guy who told me, he's dating multiple people. He always came back to me and he would tell me about the date. Oh yeah, she was this, and it was all negative, negative, negative. But I admire you, he's amazed with me. Why are you still dating? Why don't you focus this way? And then you keep coming back telling me about all this. It just didn't make sense.
See, he wanted you to be that placeholder.
So once again, he told me, he says, you should go out there and see what's out there too. I said, I've been out there for years. Like, I know what's out there and I know what's in front of me, and I want to focus on you. And he says, well, I just feel like you've been controlling just to try to change my life. I said,
yeah, he wasn't ready.
Yeah, you know what? Do you? Because some people are, what do they call them? Where they date all the time.
Serial daters.
Serial daters. There we go. That's just what they do. And they find things in people. They find things like, yeah, I left her alone because of this. It's not everybody.
It's them.
Sometimes you got to look within yourself.
Yeah. If it's always a complaint, 9 times out of 10, they might just be the problem.
Yeah.
You finding something wrong with every single person.
Yeah.
Like, no, this might have to look at you.
And I know I had one. I fumbled. I know I did. When I got out of that relationship, that engagement, I was hurt. And I said, let me get out here. People say to get over one, get one.
Oh, yeah, that's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, that didn't work because
that's not good.
I hurt him and he was amazing. So it was like the things that he did, he was me in a man. He was so thoughtful. So everything, he did everything with intentions. He told me, he says, you know what? I'm going to make you my habit. I said, oh, but it wasn't really I wasn't ready. It sounded good at first.
When you're not ready, you can't force it.
Listen, we would go out and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about my ex and we out. And I'm just like, that wasn't fair to him,
Yeah.
So when I look back, and I tried to call him up. He's like, yeah, no. And I was like, but I know I did. And I told him, I am one that I can be accountable. And I told him, like, it was me. It wasn't you. It was just the timing. I shouldn't have been dating. And unfortunately, I dropped the ball on him. But I know he will be amazing to somebody if I didn't hurt him too much.
It happens. Women definitely fumble a good man once or twice, maybe in her life.
Yeah. That's the only one I could think of.
I'm trying to think if I ever fumbled a good man.
That's the only one I could think of.
I can't think of.
Tall, light skin, green eyes. Like, ooh, yeah.
I may have. Now, I don't know though. I will never know unless they told me.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like that. It really took him to open up, and I realized it myself. The things. When I say the man was doing intentional things, my birthday is 10/18. Every day, my phone went off at 10:18.
Oh, you an October baby?
A Libra.
I'm an October baby, but I'm at the end. I'm a Scorpio.
Okay.
That's why I have to be emotionally connected to somebody, because I'm a water sign. And we already emotional. So I ended up with another water sign. I have a Pisces.
Okay.
Oof.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I was just playing. No, but every day at 10:18, my phone went off with one of the little the little GIF things. And he tells me like 2 months in, he says, "Do you not notice I text you every day?" I said, "Yeah, I text you back." He says, "No, look at your text messages." And I look back. It took me a minute. I'm smarter than the 5th grader, so I figured it out. I said, "Wow, you text me every day at 10:18.
Wow. Isn't that something?
Every day. It was just the little things that he did. He listened to me. Like, if you come over, and we had never been intimate. Like, and he just told me, you come over, what type of body wash do you wear? Because I want to have that here if you need it. At first, it was kind of like, this is getting kind of like stalkish a little bit. Like, you want to know everything about me? But he did, because he wanted to be ready, because he was interested. And I just didn't. I can't find that now. Now they're like, use the Clorox in there.
And girl, these men out there on them blogs, honey, they will talk about you so bad. because but at least you're taking accountability and you're
Oh yeah,
admitting
I
that
definitely did, and I tried to come back. I said, "Look, that wasn't me," but for some, it's too
see,
late.
that's the difference, though. You're saying you wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't try to get out of a relationship because that's going to be the what do they call that person?
I know what you're saying.
I can't even think of the word. I got to
like a rebound.
Nobody wants to be the rebound, but shit, he seemed like he wanted to be a rebound guy.
Yeah. I think we both were kind of going through it, but he did so much talking of his past situation. I never got a chance to tell him how I was really feeling.
Oh, okay.
I mean, so it was like I just kind of went with it, and it just didn't work out. So.
Well, we are reaching the end of this episode, but before we go, I just want you to just say the last thing, basically, going forward, where do you see yourself with dating? And are you still going to date? Are you giving up? Like, tell us a little bit about where you see yourself going from here, now that you are out there on the dating apps and dating organically. Are you,
I am going to lay off of the dating apps.
Okay.
And I would like to manifest just being in a grocery store.
That's my favorite word. Honey.
Yeah, just meeting someone, not someone that's here every Tuesday, here every Wednesday, not somebody like that, but just to like meet somebody organically,
Okay.
and be more cautious, but at the same time, date with intention. Like I know in the long term, I do want to be married. I'm not talking about in a year or two, but I'm not on a clock here. But when you feel it, you feel it.
Yeah.
So I do want to date and have fun. I'm listening to you as well. And sometimes I'm already looking at them like, yeah, no, this is not going to work. But that naturally happens, when you're not vibing with someone.
Yeah, you kind of, that connection.
I'm not giving up, because I feel like that, I'm not a perfect person, but I'm out there and available, but somebody else is too. Somebody else is too. So I've been through a few things, but I'm not broken. I like to say I've been through some things, but even broken crayons color. So
that's true.
We all have. If you meet somebody right now that has not been through something, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know where they've been.
We all have a story, that's for sure.
Yeah, we all do. But it's just like we all have a story, but we need to get with someone like that has healed or that has learned from that story. It's just another chapter in life.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just you flip the page and you keep going. So
those are really some of the important things to talk about when you're, meeting people, talking about healing and talking about where they are as far as like trauma and dysfunction and how they grew up and was it in a loving home? Did they see any examples of what love looked like? And, those sorts of things. That's more important to talk about than what's your favorite color and what do you like to do.
Yes.
However, we have come to an end. Before we leave, I do want to give those that are hopeful for love out there is that if that's what you really want, own it. Know that it's going to happen and have fun, but also write down everything that you are ready for in that person. But most importantly, make sure that you are ready for what you want in that person, because you cannot be one-sided and it cannot be selfish. A lot of women want this amazing man, but have not done any work on themselves. So you have to remember that. What we want, we have to make sure that we're ready for it. So it can happen. I believe in the power of manifestation and speaking over the things that I want. I manifested a lot of things, actually. My husband being one of them. And I wrote down everything about this man, so much so he came to me in a dream, had on the same outfit one day. I knew that was my husband. And so I truly believed it when I was ready. I said, 2019, this is going to be your last year single. You are ready. So if you are looking for love, manifest it. Write it down. But believe it. All right, you guys. So that wraps it up for episode 13. And I thank you so much,
Thank
Joy,
you.
for coming, sharing your
Thank
story.
you.
Ladies, I know y'all out here dating as well, trying to find that one or that one find you. And I know it's hard, but keep the hope. It can happen. All right. So that's the end of our segment, and we're out.